Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick. Today I'm going to discuss with you how I'm going to use a lot of examples. I see a lot of videos here on YouTube that just are teaching nonsense and not even teaching. They're just kind of showing you things and reading from the screen. And I'm kind of tired of it. I would like to learn more stuff, and my quality of the videos like this, I'm just sitting here in front of my computer, is fine. But I want to teach you today uh, exactly how to get some sort of passive income. How I was able to basically like quit my job back in 2019, travel the world and drive from Arizona on my way to Argentina in a car, and how I was able to support all of that because it's super important to figure out a starting point. That I think that was the hardest thing for me. So when I was when I was living in New York, I moved there. I moved back to New York in 2013, and I knew that I didn't want to work for a long time, but I knew that making money in New York is possible to support you in other places. I grew up in Kentucky, and the reason why I knew that was because the value of money in Kentucky is different than the value of money in New York, right? So how did I get to being able to kind of become financially free? I started with the most simple bills first. All right. So I figured out ways to cancel out bills. So when I had a job, I looked for a job that would pay for my cell phone. Boom, right there, $60. So with that $60, I would take it and I downloaded an app called Robinhood. You probably know it, obviously, and would start putting money into Robinhood. So that's $60 that I was already going to pay anyway. Then I started with the next thing, cable. Cable. I don't watch TV. I have Netflix. I have other people's logins for Netflix. I have people's logins for HBO, right? So I started backwards to kind of just get that to pay for to get things paid for in a different way, and then take that amount of money and then put it into the stock market. I didn't really know much about stocks at the time, but I just started putting them in. Like, I usually have a guy at Merrill Lynch that takes care of that for me. Move forward, I ended up getting a job that paid me a lot of money, like $150,000 a year, and was starting to focus on, okay, I live in New York City. How can I save money on doing, like, going out and still being able to like live my life, right? I want to go out, I want to drink, I want to hang out with girls, I want to, hang out with my cousins, my family, go out to eat, go to parties, go to concerts, stuff like that, like, normal stuff. So what I would do is, if we were going to go out on the weekend, I'd stop at the bodega and grab like a sandwich first, right? And then when I got to the restaurant, I'd maybe get like a thing of guacamole or something like that. And that way I didn't spend a lot of money. And then I would take that money and I would put it out, I would put it back into the stocks. So I started saving a bunch of money doing that. And then I got to the point of like my rent. So my rent was probably my biggest expense, right? So I was like, how do I get that rent out of my monthly budget? Because I was paying $1,700 a month in Brooklyn for rent. So with the job, I started working. I had to travel a little bit, like once every quarter, and what I was doing was when I would leave for that meeting, if I had to go to like, you know, I don't know, Florida or California or something for work, I started renting on Airbnb, and this was back in 2015. And what was happening was Airbnb, there wasn't very many listings, so the demand was there and the supply was low, so my price was pretty high. So now I started renting on Airbnb, and my work would pay for my flight, to and from. So if we had to be there on a Monday, I would leave on a Thursday because I had one home office day. I was in sales, so usually I had one office day. So I would leave Thursday after work, rent my place from Thursday to Thursday because our meetings usually lasted Monday to Thursday. So I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, And if I was going somewhere, I usually had a friend somewhere. If I went to San Diego, I had friends. If I went to LA, I had friends. If I went to Vegas, I have friends there that live there. So I can just stay with them and just for the weekend and visit them and whatever. So then I was making money from Airbnb on that. So now you see, I'm cutting out those bills, or I'm slowly taking away the amount of money that's needed to offset the expenses each month. So I started taking the money from the Airbnb and paying that towards my rent. So now I was making $700, $800 in a week, and now my rent was down to 1,000. So then when I would come back, if we would go out, my cousins lived in Queens. I'd say, hey, can I stay with you for the weekend? Like, let's go to the beach, let's go do this, let's go do that. So now I was renting my place on the weekends, and the weekends are a little bit higher. I was offsetting my rent amount. So now I figured out a way to basically live expense free, other than food and beer and going out and stuff like that. But now I don't have to pay, $1,700 in rent, my cable, well, I didn't have cable, my internet, my cell phone bill, all of that started being paid for. And I started to think, like, how can I be able to, grow? Uh, how do I do this on a bigger scale, right? Like, what if I had a house where I could rent out bedrooms, live for free, and generate an income? Right now, at the time, I was just like canceling it out, so it was even. So I still needed my job. So I started looking into, how do I buy a house in Brooklyn? I looked at one family houses and duplexes, two family houses. The two family houses obviously are more expensive, but you can get an FHA loan, right? So I ended up being able to purchase a two family home, well, three family. It has an apartment in the basement, and I lived in one section I lived in one section, and I started renting the Airbnb up top the apartment on top on Airbnb, and the one in the basement to a friend of mine and his girlfriend. So I started living rent free, and the Airbnb guests and my tenant, my boy that was living in the basement, was paying for the mortgage, and I was living for free, and I was generating a profit from it. And that way, now I had other people paying for my mortgage and building me equity where I didn't have to do anything. So at that point, I realized, like, oh shit, I'm actually losing money for living here because I could rent this place out and make even more money. So I ended up purchasing a one-way ticket. I went scuba diving and I left. I never told my job. You know what? I'll actually include a video here that I made about that, or in the description below as well. For I'll put it at 7:58. But I left. I left my job and I rented out my place to a girl that took care of it. So as you can see, it took a couple years, from 2015, it's 2013 until 2019, to build something that was a passive income stream on the bottom side of everything, where I didn't need to spend my time to make and generate money. Um, like, I don't see any other YouTubers really teaching this, and if they are, they're charging it for their online course or something like that. Don't get me wrong, I have an online course as well, but like, this just gets you to think of how you can start to do things. And the beginning starting point is try to eliminate the bills and start putting that money that you already were going to be using for, whether it be your cell phone, whether it be your rent, whether it be your internet bill, something, put that same amount into an investment. Like, just put on Robinhood, put it in the S&P 500, right? If you don't know where to start. Um, so I quit my job, I left, and I rented the other spot out on Airbnb. With that said, I no longer had a source of income. I did have benefits from my company, and I had an employee stock purchasing program. I was getting their stock at a discount, and for 5 years that I was working there, I had about $60,000 saved up, and it was money that I wasn't going to use anyway. It was there. I didn't need it, and I didn't plan on using it. So me being me, having a lot of time on my hands at that time, traveling through all of Mexico and through down to Belize and Latin America, I started to look and say, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance. And I started actually looking at another company, and this company here, it's called Neo. So I put all the money into this company around September of 2018, where it was about $6.98. I put like $62,000 into it. And I just kept learning about it, reading about it, learning about it, reading about it. I'll do a lot of videos on Neo because I know a lot about Neo. And Neo has been a very, very good investment for me. Um, and I'll show you actually how I was able to buy another house in Mexico using Neo stock, but not losing my shares. That's a whole different video. I can show you that. Maybe I'll discuss it here in this video as well. But the importance here is I put all my eggs in one basket. All right. I mean, I have different investments everywhere else, but I took what I knew I didn't need. I took money that I was willing to lose because I never planned on using it anyway. It was a bonus from work. And I put it into here. Now, I'm going to show you something here because there's a lot of investors that freak out. They see something, they hear something, and then they lose money on it because they sold at a loss. So I put it in about, I mean, there were times where I was buying it at $10 a share, $7 a share, $9 a share, $6 a share, $4 a share, and it spiked and it went up to $10 in March. And then boom, it was going down, 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 down like $1.50. I was losing so much money. And I started really investigating and learning more about Neo. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but basically, Tesla entered into China, and I knew that there was no way that China was going to allow an American company to come in and overtake the electronic vehicle sector in China, where China has the biggest population in the world. And when I saw Tesla go there, this is about when Neo dropped. And I just, I had this gut feeling that they were just not going to do that, allow that to happen. And from about October 2019, a year later after my initial investment, it has just completely skyrocketed. I have about 13,000 shares, and it made it to about $66 back in February. And then, boom, it dropped so far down. Again, I lost a ton of money. And I actually never sold any of it. I still have it. Um, and this is a long term investment for me. So I was able to find something that allowed me to kind of take my life to the next level. And it was done because I had a bunch of free time and I was traveling and I was no longer spending my time to generate money because the house in New York was paying for my full life traveling through Mexico as it still does. Um, so I ended up moving, obviously, to a cheaper place where I'm making money in a more expensive place like New York. Mexico is very cheap, and I'm making American money in another country. And with that being said, now, like I said, I actually I purchased another place in Tulum. Currently, I'm in Mexico City recording this. Um, and I guess my point is that it's important to find different streams of income. And the hardest part is to finding where to start. The place to start is with your cheapest monthly bill. Eliminate that. Take that monthly bill that you were paying. Let's just say your cell phone bill, right? Your cell phone is $60 a month. Figure out a way. It doesn't matter if you have to find a new job, if you have to find a new job that will offer you to pay for the phone, go get that job. Take that $60 every single month that you were paying before you got the new job, or however you figured out how to get a free phone, and put that money into a stock. Drop a comment here. I'll tell you what stocks to put it in. If you're paying for Verizon and it's $75 a month, drop a message here. Join my family plan on Google Fi, and it's $30 a month. Take that difference and start putting it into the stocks. Figure out how to eliminate your cheapest bill that you have, and then go from there, and then go to the next one, and then go to the next one. That's your starting point. That is your starting point. That's how I did it. That's your starting point. Make it all the way up to your rent. Figure out how to do that. Because my bet, and I know this for a fact because I did it based on experience, is my down payment came from 2013 until 2018 of all the money that I had in different stocks. I took the money out. I used that money for the down payment of the house to get me ahead, to get me to this point. So this is what I'm talking about. Other YouTubers I don't think are really talking about this based on experience. They might tell you how they did it, blah blah blah. Start with your cheapest, your lowest amount of a bill. All right. Um, After that, let's see. I mean, that's kind of how I've been able to do it. Uh, I've also leveraged a ton of credit. Okay, so if you haven't seen my video recently on how to make $3, $4, $5,000 worth of profit from Amazon and Walmart. I'm just now getting into this. My stores should be up within the next month, both on Walmart and on Amazon. Um, Using other people's money, right? If you have good credit, my credit is like 800, 780, 790. I don't know, it fluctuates, whatever. Get as many credit cards as you possibly can. All right. I'm going to put in here again at 758 and this one at 1625. I should write that down. 728 video on life. And this one is at 1630. 1630, the Amazon store. I'm going to put a video up here right now on how you can build passive income through Amazon and Walmart. And this way, and you're using credit cards. It's not even your money. It's free money. Leverage the shit out of it. Leverage the shit out of it. And I'll teach you in the other video. Comment down here, whatever, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, join my Facebook group, read my book, whatever. Just get involved. I will help you learn how to generate an income. I've done it. I'm doing it. I'm currently doing it. But basically this Amazon business is using credit cards to generate a monthly income, and it's not your money. It's 0% APR credit cards. The cards are paid off every month. So you can literally generate money from money that's not even yours from the bank. So as you see, like I have the house in Brooklyn, I have the house in Tulum generating Airbnb income. I have stocks, crypto, what else? This Amazon store, the Walmart store. I've been selling houses down here in Tulum for the developer. I mean, this is just I'm just telling you a story about myself. Over time, you'll continue to get to know me, but this stuff is real. I'm living proof of it. I'm just a regular guy chilling, making money, learning how to do it, putting all my stuff here on YouTube, helping you guys learn how to do it. So I think this is a good point to stop for this video. Comment below in anything that you want to learn that I said, or maybe I wasn't clear, because I can definitely 1,000,000% make another video. I can teach you how I researched NIO, how I did, how I am selling houses down here, just all kinds of stuff. So yeah, if you're interested, just comment, like, subscribe, but read my book, anything. So, all right, I will see you in the next video.